Hello. Hello, hello. Hi there. We are back again. Hopefully, this time without all of the technical difficulties that we have. So, welcome to my stream. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, hi. My name is Esri. I am a artist. I am a lover. I am a person who is healing and on this amazing journey life. Hi, hello Vanja, hello. So I am here in this series because it resonated so much when I heard the name of this series. It was so amazing. Hi Cameron. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I'd love to know where you are tuning in from. Let me know. But oh my gosh, this series, Echoes of the Mind, it really made me think. And I had to be a part. I said, whoa, echoes of the mind, they're being caught up in your head is a very dangerous place to be. I know because I was there for so many years. So many years. I was stuck in my head. Hello from Toronto. Hi. Um, I was stuck in my head for so long trying to figure stuff out, trying to have these conversations. Ooh, Croatia in the building. We international. Hey, hey. So it being stuck in your head can be a very dangerous place. And so I'm glad that IMO came up with this series of Echoes of the Mind because we have to be able to allow what's in our head to come out. And one of the ways I was able to do that is poetry. Poetry was my saving grace. Poetry was the thing that allowed me to take what was going on in my head and release it. Hi, Faith. Hi, Ashish. Poetry was the thing that caused me to be able to release what was going on inside. I didn't know how to vocalize in conversation, but I was able to figure out a way to speak about because I learned about this thing called a metaphor. And I learned about figurative language and being able to describe a thing without actually saying what it is you were talking about. And that right there was beginning. That was the beginning of my healing journey. Hi, Leah. So I want to share a few pieces with y'all today. Some from my book, These Dry Bones, which is a collection of poems that starts off in that healing journey. And this allows you to really hear the echoes of my mind because it takes on that evolution of my thought process from angry teenager, healing adult. So let's dive in to some earlier pieces, shall we? You don't know. Oh, sorry. This is called Things. You don't want me to know, but I see things hidden. Deep down, I know what lies beneath. You can't hold it forever. Guilt eats you up inside to the point where you want to cry, break down and cry. I see things hidden that you don't want me to know. It's too bad how your actions let it show. Don't think you can make it better by saying those three little words. Because if I took them away, then what would they? Your secrets and lies kill you inside. You let on like it's cool, but I know it's killing you. You're talking in your sleep while you're lying next to me. I see the things hidden, no secrets, no lies. That is Things Hidden. That is something that I wrote early on, very early on, I believe, either eighth grade or high school. So that was an early piece, and I I love being non-confrontational. So yes, I found myself being very non-confrontational. So I would write, and I would have these conversations in my head because I was trying to build myself up to actually having the conversation, right? But I found it was easier to just pen pen out what I thought because I never knew exactly what would come out of my mouth if I actually let myself have the conversations. And I think that's why I would practice it over and over in my mind. Oh, thank you. Yes. When you sit with yourself a lot, it gives you time to think. I had a lot of reflecting time because I was in my own head a whole lot, unfortunately. But fortunately, because it gave me a level of self-awareness that I'm able to be in tune with what's going on internally because of all those practice conversations. Yes, I'm not alone. I'm not alone in the practicing of the conversations. I love it, Leah. I love it. So, this is a piece that I wrote that I actually shared on a blog. And when I shared this on a blog, this poem is the thing that made me realize that me sharing my poetry was not only something that would be beneficial to me, but also beneficial to others, because I had it up on a blog and someone left a comment that said, "You put into words exactly what I've been feeling but did not know how to say." And that's when I knew that this wasn't just something for me. And that's when I knew that poetry can connect us, that poetry can cause us to have a link with someone we may have never even met. And so when I saw the theme of this series, I said I have to be a part because I never know who my words will connect with. So this piece is called Quiet Storm. Hi, my name's Steve. I'm emotionally numb. I don't trust anyone. Sometimes I feel like screaming, but nothing ever comes out. All I want is to be okay. Hi, my name is Esty. My innocence was taken from me. So since then, I've always felt a bit strange. The ones closest to me cut the wounds that I have, and they heal. They keep cutting. But the blood doesn't show. Internally, I bleed. Hi, my name is Esty. All I feel is pain. Hi, my name is Esty. Inside, my tears fall like rain. Hi, my name is Esty. All I want is to be okay. And that is Quiet Storm. I call that Quiet Storm because I saw crying as a weakness. I would not allow myself to cry. I realized I was an adult that, it's not, it does not make me weak to shed tears, that shedding tears actually is a sign of release and it is healing for your body. It's a way to release those pent up emotions. When you don't release them, when you do not, you're actually causing more internal stress in your body, and is how disease actually forms. Like a lot of disorders, things They are not only connected to what we eat, but they're also connected to our mental and emotional state of being. Those can be seeds that cause issues in the body. And so for me, I've come to realize that creating art and being in this type of reciprocity with creativity, not just something to do for the sake of doing it, it's also healing. It's spiritual. Yes. I've it's still hard for me to cry, but I realize now that it does not make me weak to cry. And that took a long time to come to that realization. So, on my healing journey, I have come to deepen my spiritual understanding and my walk with the Lord. And so, in this journey, I've had lots of time in meditation and a lot of time sitting still to listen and journal. And this poem actually came from one of those moments where I was sitting still, and I believe this is what I heard the Lord saying to me. And this piece is called Scars. Your scars are where your true beauty lies. You try to mask them behind this false sense of bliss. Your smile is remiss for a place far off in another dimension. You dress it up nicely and deserve an Oscar nomination. The way you hold it down is just that good. Yet, in the midst of the smiles, your light is running out. The battery has lost its charge, and that tiny flame of the real you begins to shine its way through. Don't put out your beacon of light. The ugliness you faced in your life is the essence of the beauty that shines in your eyes. Every tear you have cried, cleanse them and wash your scars. Make you beautiful. They make up every piece of you. Every scar holds the story of another victory you have overcome. And so our scars tell stories. Our scars represent things that we have survived. They're the things that didn't kill us, right? Because of the scar. We have the scar, which means it healed. The past may have left scars, but they are proof we're still here, still standing. Exactly. The past it may leave us some scars, but also gives us wisdom. We have experience now. We know some things. We know how to maneuver in this life, and we're still standing. The scar is proof that we are still here. And baby, let me tell you, I have had I've had some scars. So much strength in your voice. Thank you. Thank you. This strength definitely has come from sitting still and really looking at the ugly stuff. We hear people talk about going on this healing journey, and we think it's going to be this, I don't know what we think it's going to be. But then you get into it, and the reality is some stuff is very, very ugly. But I think that's why I like butterflies so much. When you think about a butterfly, a caterpillar, I don't know how y'all feel about bugs, but caterpillars, they're not cute. Um, but they go through this process. And in that process, they have to allow themselves to go into the darkness. They have to allow themselves to go into that dark place where there's no one else there. There's no one else when you are in that cocoon. It is just you and your process, you and your transformation, you and the things that you have through. And all of that, all that you've eaten, taken in to hold yourself over for the transformation process, that's what you're left with. And you have to in that process and allow that moment of isolation in the cocoon to transform you. It's crazy when you think about what a butterfly goes through. But then in the end, when it's time, you bust out of your cocoon and then you have these wings and it's so beautiful and pretty, and yeah, it's a whole new you're a whole new person after the healing process, but you have to face the darkness. There's no becoming a butterfly without facing the darkness. And that is the ugly truth about this healing journey. Speaking of facing darkness, there is a piece I want to share with you about relationships that I was in that I had no business being in, y'all. And then I'm going to share another piece that is not in my book, but is related to the same situation. Because the echoes of my mind, right? So this piece is called I Gave It All Up. The toxicity had me lost in myself. I had no idea loving him was so hazardous. The more I tried to make it work, those demons had more room to work on me. In me, a killer was spreading. My vision was obstructed, my heart constructed walls. I barricaded myself in. Never realized that what I was hiding from was already inside. But in a moment of clarity, when I was positive I would no longer survive the negative environment in mind, I gave it all up and found inner peace, self-worth. I found real love. That was about a relationship that I knew I wasn't supposed to be in from the beginning, and I finally had the strength to let it go. Because y'all we be knowing when all the red flags and all the signs, we know. But for whatever reason, when we choose to ignore, that's what you have to deal with. That's what you have to tap into. Why am I ignoring these red flags? Why? So I'm going to share a piece about this from another angle. And this piece is called, I guess we're going to call it The Call, because I haven't officially given it a title yet. But yes. It has to slap you hard before you recognize it. Yes, yes. Sometimes it has to slap you hard before you recognize it. Okay. I got that slap. But let's get into it after this piece right here. This is called The Call. Betcha on land they are, and bet they don't reprimand their daughters. 5:28 p.m. Time is a melting glacier. These minutes merge gradually, multiplying into what feels like hours. The light from my phone piercing my pupils, vision blurry. This device weighs a ton. Lifting it to my ear feels impossible. 5:35. In my car, replaying many heated conversations leading up to the moment where I went wrong. A Netflix marathon, no chill, nerves on edge, fish out of water. Each breath harder than the next. Five. Emotion, just dial the number. 9-0. 9 minutes I have been sitting here contemplating the last 5 years of my life. All of the moments we missed because I, like Ariel, had something to prove. I had to show you that I could be part of his world. But that was somewhere I knew I didn't belong. And the toxicity of that relationship was something like Ursula. It snatched my voice away. When you would call and ask if I was okay, there were so many things I wanted to say, so many times I wanted to lay my head on your chest, like when I was a little girl. It was my safest place. 5:40. Tapping the sides of my phone case. Left thumb, right thumb, as if the words would magically materialize from the friction put forth from my appendages. What should I say? Hey, Dad, you were right. I gave up a piece of myself to admitting, admitting this. You told me it would be over in a year. And when he tried to leave the first time, my heart was split. If I let it end back then, I would have admitted defeat. But I'm too stubborn for that, though the vibe was obsolete. He stood in front of me and asked me why I wanted him to stay. And that was the day that I took pen and signed my voice away. Like Ariel penned her name on that scroll, I let my selfish desires put my good judgment on hold. I paid the price in self-worth and self-esteem. Thought I could fast and pray a better situationship into being, and I imagined the Heavenly Father was patiently waiting for me, just like you, to let go of my rebellion and hold fast to the truth. Relationship had sunk long before I filed for divorce. I was warned and ignored every sign that was given because the evil desires within had me trying to rename this act something other than sin. I heard God tell me no before I said I do, but I had to show you that you were wrong this time. And now I felt like a fool. I prolonged the inevitable, trying to avoid making this very phone call to you. 5:43. Hey, Dad. I'm okay. I just called to say I'm filing for a divorce. I met with a stillness that put my spirit at ease as my father responds. I've been praying for the day I would get this phone call. And I thought about the prodigal son, how his father celebrated him as he came back home. The father's love reached through the speaker and wrapped around me and put me in a whirlwind of peace. My lungs could function properly. I sat in my car and listened to my father speak. Admitting I was wrong was the most freeing phone call. And that's that piece. Yes, the stubbornness is such, oh Lord. Stubbornness is, it's a thing. It is definitely a thing that can get you in some situations. You have a way of making words come. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh, like that whole I call it my 5 year temper tantrum. That's what I call it. It was a 5 year temper tantrum. And all because of unresolved issues. Issues that you read about if you grab a copy of this book. There is a link on the stream that will allow you to grab a copy. But there were so many unresolved issues that I just didn't even realize were there, and they all surfaced through conversation. And then in that surfacing of that conversation, it led me on a path. And that stubbornness will rear its ugly head in the, most inopportune times sometimes. It had me on a path. Had me on a path. And baby, that was 5 years. But yes, I did come out on the other side. I came out on the other side. I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about my journey. I learned so much about just life and relationships and how we interact with each other and how things that we experience as children influence the decisions that we make as adults. It was definitely a learning experience, and I really do hope that as we continue in this journey together, that we're able to uncover these things. And creative expression, arts, writing, poetry, painting, all these things are ways in which we can do that. So please, please, please tap in with me. I have a community that I am building, and I would love for y'all to be a part. So, if you're not on my email list, please join my email list so that you will know exactly when this creative community launches, because we will be having sessions where we are writing together. I will not be doing it this because I am traveling and I am actually becoming a chaplain. So, as I get my chaplaincy this weekend, I will not be able to do my typical fourth Saturday workshop, but we'll be back in April for the Saturday. So please tune in with me, tap in with me, so you'll be able to get the links, get your tickets, and all the things, so that we'll be able to continue to grow together. Because this level of self-awareness really has come from sitting with this creativity. And I'm a firm believer that our creativity, it's our connection to our creator. God is a creator, okay? And he made us in his image. And this need to create, it is our connection to him. So I invite you to join me. I will share one more piece that's not in the book, and then I will share a piece from the book, and then we will be closing out for today. So this piece is called Self-Care. Lying in bed all day, doing absolutely nothing, butt naked between the sheets, blinds closed, TV off, silence. Is it depression or is it self-care? Unfortunately, I am unaware. Sometimes it's just better to lay here in the dark. Sometimes it feels better to lay here in the dark. Sometimes it's better to stay here in the dark. In the beginning of the creation story, it's dark. God created everything from that darkness. I hope that as I lay here in the dark, I can create something beautiful. With every deep breath, I inhale my destiny. And as I exhale, expel from my life the things that no longer bring me peace. With every inhale, I take my power to create. I visualize with my mind's eye myself happy, myself whole. With every exhale, I expel limiting beliefs. I am good enough. As I lay here, I reconnect with myself, aligning mind, body, and spirit in the dark. And is self-care. Yes. So that poem came when I really was trying to figure out, was this depression, or is it, am I having this self-care moment where I'm just, I'm not doing anything. I don't feel like watching TV. I'm unplugging from all the things, right? But there was a little something else behind. There wasn't giving self-care. Um and it was in a time where I had been dealing with how to exist in this life without my mom. My mother passed, and I think that was one of the first poems that I was actually able to write in that time, because none of the things that I typically did to help myself process, none of them were working. And so I had to really evaluate what was happening. And yeah, that was it depression or was it self-care? It was somewhere on that very thin line in between the two. But it thank you, Cameron. It was definitely a process. It was definitely a journey, but one that I'm grateful for, because it allowed me to really understand, like, self-care is more than taking a bath, and the bubble bath and the wine and the candles and all. Like, that's maintenance, really. You're supposed to do these things. That's maintenance. So I had to really evaluate what was my definition of self-care. What did that actually look like, and how am I going to exist in this? And yeah, I'm going to give us one more because it is my time. I'm a little over time. Sorry, Vondra, I'm over time a little bit. But I want to share this with y'all, because as we think about the echoes of our mind and what that looks like, I really hope that we are able to not get stuck there. Processing is good, but that's where creative expression is a great way to help to process and not get stuck in our head. Being stuck in your head is a dangerous place. And we don't want to be there. So we want to be in community. We want to find people who are able to talk us off the edge sometimes. You need that. So don't be stuck in your head. I love y'all. And please, please, please tap in with me. Follow me on all the socials. I am S. Marie everywhere. Yeah. So this piece is called Promise Me. Out of all of the noteworthy mistakes you've made, promise me you'll remember how much I adore you. The way you lean your head to the right, wishing memories from the ocean of thoughts in your mind. How you awkwardly laugh when you're unsure of what to do. The way you manage to keep a smile on your face when it seems like the entire world is imploding. Promise me you'll remember no one else can leave your fingerprints in this world. Firmly grab hold of as many hearts as you can and more with the essence of your love. Unconditional. Promise me you'll remember. All right. Promise me you will remember that you're amazing, that you are worthy of all the love, all the things, and that you will meet me in the garden one day. Okay? I love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch y'all in the next series. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are so awesome.